This is a Column Technologies Best Practices webinar. Welcome to Part 1, Business Intelligence Overview for IT Service Management. My name is Sam Friedman. I'm the Business Intelligence Practice Manager for Column Technologies. This webinar discusses the challenges of traditional reporting in IT organizations and how to resolve them using business intelligence best practices. The key concepts are the metrics methodology for selecting and using metrics, and the capability roadmap, which identifies the functional tools used to query, analyze, deliver, or present business information. Over the course of the webinar series, you'll acquire the knowledge to anticipate requirements from the business, learn how to help the business articulate and define those requirements, and gain the knowledge to build comprehensive plans that fulfill those requirements. When IT depends on traditional reporting for all or most of their information needs, they suffer from a familiar set of symptoms that can be traced back to a common cause. Report developers require a scarce combination of skills and experience. Those include training in a report development tool like Crystal Reports, experience with database technologies like SQL, familiarity with complexities of the underlying database and data models, and skills as a business analyst. The obvious difficulty or cost in finding enough people with all of these skills and experience leads to the following challenges. IT is inundated with an incessant stream of requests for new reports. And even when IT has completed a sizable effort and delivered a substantial number of reports, the business asks for more. They say, today's reports answer yesterday's questions. And the business is right. Business and markets evolve. There will always be new questions and an ever-present demand to answer those questions. Then there are huge quantities of abandoned reports. Many of these were created for ad hoc purposes, an executive briefing, a customer meeting, a long since completed project. No one remembers exactly why. More importantly, no one remembers which ones are still needed or who owns them. There are two serious issues here. One, this is a sign of wasted labor. We spend many hours developing content that was almost immediately discarded. And two, if we don't know who requested or owns the reports, how do we determine which ones need to be carried over in the next upgrade? This is a sign of wasted labor to come. Then there are the challenges of distributed reporting. With distributed reporting, anyone with a data extract in Microsoft Excel is writing their own reports. It may seem like a good idea. IT has been relieved from the tedious responsibilities of report development, but don't be fooled into thinking IT is no longer accountable for providing trustworthy business information. This is a send and forget strategy. Now that the data has been extracted, who knows what users are doing with it? We've lost all control. There's no way to backtrack from a number in a spreadsheet to a number in a database. Everyone has their own unique way of calculating metrics. Collaboration is impossible, and fact-based decision-making has been compromised because we no longer trust the data. So what's the solution? To a large extent, IT should get out of the reporting business and empower users to write their own reports. IT needs to maintain control of the data and start providing business intelligence instead of raw data extracts. One of the problems we've helped our customers overcome is that managers and even executives are routinely pulled away from strategic responsibilities and pulled into operational issues. The problem's not because strategy is unimportant or because managers and operations do not have clearly defined roles and responsibilities. The problem is because operations lacks the tools to help them see and avoid disaster, and managers and executives lack the tools to understand and communicate operational issues in business terms. The capability roadmap resolves this problem by providing the right information at the right time to the right users. Planning and forecasting enables executives to use historical data and trending to predict future states, anticipate problems, and develop plans to avoid those problems. Scorecards enable executives to systematically quantify progress towards strategic goals. Report automation provides scheduling, email distribution, publishes reports to a web portal, or archives them for historical reference. Ad hoc reporting enables non-technical business users to write their own reports without knowing how to use Crystal, write SQL statements, or even understand the complexities of the underlying database. Ad hoc reporting empowers business users and removes IT as a bottleneck in the report development process. Tactical dashboards provides business-level visibility into IT service operations. Embedded reporting provides real-time, context-driven reports directly from an operational tool. And finally, operational dashboards uses real-time metrics to drive operational decision-making. Now that we have the functional capabilities to query, analyze, and deliver data, how do we choose the data? How do we select metrics? We already know it's going to be a collaborative process that illuminates areas that have previously existed in the shadows. Now it's time for the metrics methodology. There are three compelling reasons to adopt the metrics methodology. The first is for the same reason you adopt the IT infrastructure library, establishing a common language. Without standard definitions that you get from a common language, you severely limit your ability to share and collaborate, not to mention communicate. So this is how we define metrics. Operational metrics are systematic observations, usually counts, how many tickets, how many seconds transpired. They're systematic observations of activities or transactions. Operational metrics are relatively easy to calculate and are the fundamental component of metrics hierarchy. Next is key performance indicators, or KPIs. A KPI is a calculated metric plus a tolerance, a number in a line. If the number's above the line, we're good. Below, watch out. The number can be simply an operational metric or a function of multiple metrics. The threshold can be a single cutoff or multiple cutoffs signifying danger, warning, or satisfactory levels. And last is a critical success factor, a strategic goal defined in business terms. Maintain or improve customer satisfaction is a strategic goal. This is the most important metric, but also the most difficult to measure. So because we cannot measure strategic goals directly, we're forced to build a hierarchy of metrics. And now you have the second reason for adopting the metrics methodology. The metrics methodology helps you build consensus on which metrics matter to you and the business. In a typical approach, we start at the top, build executive consensus on strategic goals. These top-level goals become the critical success factors. Then we work our way down, defining key performance indicators and operational metrics. And the third reason to adopt the metrics methodology is to ensure the metrics you choose support decision-making at all levels of the organization. Executives and managers make different types of decisions from operational support staffers. So how can they use the same metrics? They can't. In part 2 of this webinar series, we explore the use of different types of metrics, such as leading indicators, trailing indicators, and the role of real-time versus historical data. There you have it. At a high level, we've covered the fundamental concepts of best practice business intelligence for IT service management. You should now understand the challenges of traditional reporting and their root causes. The solutions to those challenges is laid out in the metrics methodology and the capability roadmap. The metrics methodology helps organizations build consensus on which metrics matter most at each level of the organization and show how it enables the business to quantify high-level strategic goals that were previously considered too abstract to measure. The capability roadmap accommodates the functional needs of many stakeholders at all levels of the organization, from static embedded reporting to support operational procedures to user-friendly interactive ad hoc reporting for business analysts and planning and forecasting for executives. For a detailed look at the metrics methodology or the capability model, please view parts 2 and 3 of this webinar series. This concludes part 1, Best Practice Business Intelligence for IT Service Management. For more information about any of these topics, visit us at www.columnit.com. Thank you.